Now broadcasting from the Next Gen Conservative Studio in sunny South Florida, bringing you the latest in politics, current events, and pop culture. This is the Whitfield Report with Sam Whitfield.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Monday edition of the Whitfield Report. I am your host, Sam Whitfield, and thanks for tuning in and listening whenever you're, doing so in the past, present, future hour. I've got a pretty good show for you today. Now, last week on the Wednesday show, Max, Morpheus, and I spent a lot of time criticizing and ridiculing the day of trans visibility and the absolute, disgrace of all this woke nonsense. It feels like it's never ending. Wokeness in general is a cancer. We've done a fair share of criticizing woke nonsense and woke bullshit. It is a cult, and I have no problem saying as much. With that being said, as much as I have a problem with woke culture, with this hyper woke mentality, I also have a huge problem with this, with the Manosphere, as it's called, and with this whole trad life culture as well. Just kind of an overview of what that is. I'm talking about the Andrew Tate type characters. The people who, mostly the men who, think that the only way to get a woman is to, be a guy who just works out all the time and who also drives Lamborghinis and invests in real estate and all this stuff. And they do all that in the guise of helping to better men, and they talk about men's rights a lot, but in actuality all they want to do is call women whores. And in the case of the Tate brothers, traffic women as part of sex trafficking, allegedly. And there's this whole kind of movement. They're not the ones who are in this whole manosphere. There are other groups like other podcasts like Fresh and Fit who also promote this mentality. And that mentality is women are whores, or as they call them, 304s, which I suppose they use that terminology because the word whore is kind of it gets censored on YouTube, so obviously using the word 304, I guess, kind of gets them around that from being demonetized, even though apparently they are already demonetized on YouTube. But they're still on YouTube at least, whereas this podcast is exclusively on Rumble and on Spotify and all the other podcast platforms. So I know a lot of the listeners know what the Manosphere is, but already, but I just figured I'd kind of give that primer as to what it is. The reason why I bring this thing up with the Manosphere is lately in the news at the end of last week, Fresh and Fit, they've received a lot of, they got themselves in a pickle, so to speak. Or more accurately, I guess Fresh of Fresh and Fit got himself into a pickle by sticking his pickle into an OnlyFans girl that he himself had called a 304, I guess, to use their terminology. So basically, they've been called out because the whole premise of their show, at least from the clips I've seen, is basically like, you can't trust women. You can't trust these Instagram hoes. They're all dumb. They lack accountability, and you absolutely shouldn't, mess with them whatsoever. They're horrible and disgusting. But yet, they mess around with these OnlyFans hoes all the time, I guess. And so, to make a long story short, I guess Mr. Fresh, like I said, he got himself in a pickle by sticking his pickle in this, woman, and he got her knocked up. Well, apparently Mr. Mega Chad Alpha Dude over here, he doesn't want kids. And so he basically, he doesn't want to be accountable either, I guess. So he decided to tell this chick to get an abortion. And, that just seems, kind of the mask is wearing thin. People are starting to see through this guy's bullshit, basically. But don't take my word for it. Let's actually, I have the footage here of the leaked phone call. Apparently, this chick actually taped her phone call with him where she basically says, "Hey, I'm pregnant and I want to keep the baby." And his reaction was, as my co-host Morpheus likes to put it, pretty sus. So let's go ahead and watch this real quick, just to give you an idea of, what's going on. Okay, so as I said, here is the. Let me dismiss this real quick. As I said, folks, here's like a brief introduction of what's going on. For those who are listening on audio only, this guy here is going to do a brief introduction, and then we're going to get into the clip itself. So let's look at this, shall we?
Right now, podcast member Fresh decided to nut his bodily liquids to a woman that they bring on the podcast that they tried to correct their 304 behavior. So here's a video right now. Enough of me talking.
All right?
I mean, because I don't want to kill the baby. I don't want to kill nobody. I don't want to.
You're not. They just give you a pill and then it's over.
No. I'm pregnant.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The pill to see from a doctor and then you're good.
I am pregnant. I can't pretending like nothing happened. I can't. In my religion, we don't.
You're not killing. Okay.
I want to keep the baby.
Okay. Well, like I said, I just don't want any kids. You know?
Okay, so what you gonna do? And what you gonna do to me?
Nothing. Why did I do anything to you?
Nothing?
Why did I do anything to you?
No, I know. So, like, deal with this by saying I don't want a baby. That's all.
I mean, let's go to the doctor, I guess.
To the doctor. So you want a
I mean, yeah. Why do you want a kid now?
So keep in mind this this guy here, I guess Fresh, or whatever he goes by. He's one that is always like lecturing men on the Fresh and Fit podcast about accountability. I guess he calls himself like the chief accountability officer, but yet here, as we've heard, he's not like, he's basically telling this chick just to just to take the pill, or if worse comes to worse, get an abortion. And she's saying, no, I don't want an abortion. It's against my religion. Now, I don't know what her religion is. I suppose, you could say, well, she's being a hypocrite too because she shouldn't, sleep around. But, that's kind of irrelevant here in the sense that, she seems to be wanting to keep the baby. And there are people who are saying, well, that's just so that she can extort money from, him. Really? How do you know that? I mean, that could be the case, but also the same people who are saying that are supposedly also the pro-life people, supposedly, right? So, which is it, folks? Is it she's a whore and she's just setting him up? Or are you pro-life, quote unquote, trad people actually going to stick by your guns and, support this woman having a kid? And also, what about Mr. Chief Accountability Officer here? Doesn't seem to be being too accountable to me. But let's continue on and see how this call progresses. There might not be much more.
And why do you make me pregnant now?
That's like, there's no way that wow, like.
So just think about it. It's meant to be. God wants you to have the baby.
Definitely not.
It is. God wants you to have a baby. 7 years never happened, and then you're fucking me for a month, and I'm pregnant. What does that mean? Now I just think about it, if you force me to kill the baby, then.
I mean, she brings up a good point. As much as that, some of you might hate me saying that, she does bring up a good point with what she's saying there. Call me a simp or whatever, even though in this case, I'm not. But she does bring up a good point. And again, this is a guy who, two things I want to point out here in this instance. One, they were fucking for a month, I guess. But yet, this is the guy who is saying to, stay away from those awful 304s because they'll trick you and, they just want your money, that type of thing. But yet, he had no problem boinking her for about a month, and his whole attitude, his whole nonchalant attitude to me and everyone else who has watched this, this doesn't seem like it's his first time doing this. This seems like a fairly, regular occurrence. Lots of people in the, I guess, trad community or the Manosphere, whatever, we're calling it these days, they all love to talk about how, what is a woman's body count, so to speak, right? That being how many, guys has this chick fucked. That's what they mean by body count. How high is a woman's, how many guys has this chick slept with? Well, that's all fine and dandy, but what about a dude's body count, right? That's the other thing with this whole Manosphere thing that like drives me crazy is they always talk like how bad a woman's body count is and how the more guys she sleeps with, the more of a whore she is, right? But they also preach that like guys should spread their seed around as much as possible because that's the trad alpha thing to do, right? In both cases it's bad and degenerate, right? But yet, these pickup artists, these Manosphere guys, they're leading a lot of young men down a bad path. So yeah. Let me, I'll play this clip for a little longer just to see if she says anything else insightful, but you guys kind of get the point, I think.
Well, we were sex. But it's too late now, But
so I'm going to read you.
Okay, so that's the end of the clip. I wanted to play that for you. Now, they spent like a real long time. So this video leaked last week, and then I guess they had a big coping session about it on Fresh and Fit, and Fit, or whatever the other guy's name, they had a big coping fit about it, and this guy had a meltdown. So I want to play that for you guys real quick. This was their response, to the whole, this is their whole response when they get called out on their bullshit. So let me share this clip, and then, make sure, okay, that's showing up properly. Good. Okay, so now, here is Fresh and Fit having a meltdown about this phone call being leaked. This was, keep in mind, this was a podcast that they did the day after, basically to try and do damage control. But instead of doing damage control, they seem to make the situation a lot worse by melting down about this. And, keep in mind, these are guys who, they say that women are 304s, and they say that women are too emotional and have no accountability whatsoever. Right? So just keep that all in mind while watching this clip.
Because right there, when this bitch lied and said that I got a dumbass, 3 years later, believe some bitch that makes the same fucking allegations again. You fucking idiots.
All right, what's going on, folks? It's your boy Dre. Welcome back. Now, in case you do not know, I don't know if you've been living under a rock, but there's a whole situation going on in the podcast world. We are in weird times.
They talked to her on. If you want more context, go watch that.
Yeah, you roasted her.
Stupid. Yo, that nigga went in. But granted, he answered real questions.
Yeah.
Why this? Why that? Why you doing?
Oh, well, you guys are loyal to people on your. Look at it paying it back in dividends, right?
Yeah.
Like Destiny don't agree with us. He didn't have to do that, but you fucking shut up. And you're not a piece of shit, right? And you don't sit there and you backbite them and attack them when they're down and everything else like that, or trying to get a gotcha moment or any of this other crap. They fucking respect you for that shit, especially in this realm in YouTube where everyone's a fucking snake, bro. People are real snakes out here.
Yeah.
Like preying on your fucking downfall. Every day, there's people preying on us, like going down. People laugh when we got demonetized. People laugh when when anything bad happens to us, etc. But we're still fucking here.
And isn't it funny? People are like, oh, we call Fresh and Fit for comment. You didn't call us. You just made a video.
Who said that?
I'm not gonna say who. I'm not gonna say who, but they made a video and it's like, all right, cool. I see you, bro. I see how it is. I'm gonna stay quiet, but I won't forget. Actually, hashtag's still over there.
Okay.
There you go.
Damn, bro.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, man. People come out the woodwork, man, and it's wild because it's funny. It's like if you make a hit piece on Fresh and Fit, you're gonna get like a bunch of views because these people can't garner views without it, bro. They really can't garner views without it. It's crazy. WRDDA goes, Fresh, did you see Bernard Riley?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Walter, that man in front of you is a true friend. The man is the etc. If you're my friend, you're my friend. I'm with you regardless of whether it's convenient or not. You fucking pussies in the chat that say you're loyal to a fault. Shut the fuck up. That does not exist in my fucking vocabulary. Loyal to a fault because you're loyal regardless. The whole definition of loyal is being loyal and seen by somebody, whether it's convenient or not, to fucking be there. I don't believe in this term loyal to a fault. Okay? And if the fault is death, then guess what? I die with a fucking spine. A lot of you motherfuckers are jellyfish. No fucking spine. And that's the reason why a lot of you motherfuckers are fat, triple chin, neck bearded, pieces of shit, fucking dorks with no money and no one fucking respects you because you motherfuckers don't stand for nothing. If I stand with Fresh, I die with Fresh. It is what it is. Okay? It is what it is, you motherfuckers. Oh shit, it's getting shaky. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave. I got 20 fucking real estate properties so I can tell motherfuckers, fuck you. My net worth is over $6 fucking million. I get money residually. I don't fucking need to do this shit and I don't need to fucking sell my soul. I stand with my fucking friends. Period. All right? Some of you motherfuckers need to get a fucking spine, you jellyfish SpongeBob in the fucking house.
It is almost comical how this man is literally melting down. Now, I guess he's fit, or his name is I guess his real name is Byron, and the other guy's name is Walter. I'm laughing because, he basically just made fun of like his target audience, right? The fat, neck bearded, incels who are fat and, have no money and can't get women. That's their target audience. That's their main like target demographic of who the Manosphere, who these types of people like try and appeal to. And I dare say that like here's the thing with Fresh and Fit and Andrew Tate. We, here on the Whitfield Report, I talk about how I appreciate my audience all the time. And I really do. I think although we don't have the biggest audience in podcasting here at the Whitfield Report and here at Right to Offend Media, we respect you, the viewer, or you, the listener. We respect your intelligence. We know that we have listeners and viewers who might not agree with us all the time and who may have differing opinions from us, and we respect that. But, we value diversity of opinion, and we think our audience is smart enough to make judgments for themselves and to form their own opinions. That's something that I've believed for the entirety of my 16 years of podcasting. My goal is to help people have intelligent conversations about politics, pop culture, whatever, we may be talking about. I want the audience to, I want to be better informed about things, and I want the audience to be better informed about things as well, because I respect the audience. Fresh and Fit don't respect their audience. He literally just said, "Fuck you! I've got all my money in real estate. I've got all these Lamborghinis. I've got all these cars. I don't need you." Let's continue. This meltdown gets funnier. And by the way, they tried to delete this afterwards, I guess. But it's been archived everywhere now. So, wah wah.
It pisses me off how soft all you motherfuckers. You know, I've stepped in the gym in 3 weeks trying to tell me how to fucking be loyal to my fucking friends. I'm not going anywhere. I'm tired of you motherfuckers. Leave Fresh. He's only dude. He's only done. Well, fuck you. All right? I don't need to make a fucking cent off this fucking podcast. I'm fine. My real estate will take care of me because I knew that if I want to say what the fuck I want to say and not so, I need to go ahead and build residual income come up so I can sit here and tell you fucking haters, fuck you. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to say what the fuck I want to say, and I don't give a fuck what anybody got to say. I cannot be.
Clearly you do care about what people are saying, though, Walter, because you're melting the fuck down. You're acting like, dare I say, a 304 right now, right? Being emotional and being unaccountable for what you're saying. Now, I know that you're not the one who knocked this chick up in particular, but hell, you've probably got, like, your fair share amount of women that you've knocked up, right? I'm assuming that you've, at this point, I am kind of making I don't usually like to make assumptions, but based on the way you're sprigging out and melting down, I think it's fairly safe to say that you probably have a high body count as well. You've probably also pulled, you've probably also, told your fair share of women to, go get an abortion nonchalantly or something. You've banged a whole bunch of whores yourself while telling other guys not to, and that they're idiots for doing so. And at this very moment, you're calling your audience a bunch of idiots and saying, I don't need you guys. I'm fine. I've got my real estate. I'm better than you. This is one thing I really hate about, like, this new wave of podcasters. And yeah, like, call me old fashioned, but the reason I got into podcasting is because I have a passion for podcasting. It really is a passion for me. Thankfully, I've been able to like monetize a little bit over the past couple of years, or I've been able to start to. But back when I started, podcasting, no one was really monetizing podcast at all. It was it was a hobbyist thing. And for many people it still is. I don't have anything against people making money off of podcasting if they're able to, but like if making money or getting fame or getting clout from podcasting is the only reason why you're doing it, then like, you reap what you sow. And I don't believe that this guy would be okay if he, he keeps saying, I'm fine. I don't need to financially do this podcast. Yet, if he were to get banned off YouTube, like, permanently, they would be freaking out. And yes, I know Fresh and Fit is on Rumble as well. I do subscribe to them, but I don't think I've watched them. I watched one episode for like 20 minutes once. But yeah, I mean, these guys, from everything I've like watched of them, they seem to be hypocrites, right? And degenerates themselves. They're not actually promoting men to be better. They're not like, they're just telling men to get fit and get into real estate, and be like Chad and be alpha, but they're setting like unrealistic expectations. And then they're also saying, don't fall for these 304s, but we can simultaneously. You guys are too stupid to know how to deal with 304s, but we're not. We're better than you. And that's what I really hate about some of these podcasters is that they just talk down to their audience, right? So, that's that. Basically, they've gotten called out for being hypocrites. They're melting down because people are starting to see through their bullshit. And like I said, and like Max and I have talked about, it's not just Fresh and Fit. It's Andrew Tate. It's Sneeko. It's all these Manosphere and, trad life people like Pearl A. Davis. Too. She's another one. Do you think any of these people actually want to help, like, better men? No. All they care about is the cash flow because that's what they're in it for. These guys are millionaires off of this type of thing. So is Pearl A. Davis. Like, Pearl Davis is like another one. She LARPed on and she's like tried to LARP on to the whole like MAGA grift, but she lives all the way over in like England. So, she's an American, but she's living in England. So, what does that say? She lives in a country that is more socialist than we are at this point. But I suppose one day we'll do a podcast on Pearl Davis. But anyway. Yeah, so Fresh and Fit had a meltdown. They're being hypocrites. On the flip side of that, though, let's see. On the flip side, though, we have Nala Ray, who was an OnlyFans girl, and she has apparently given herself over to, she's become a born again Christian and has given her life to Jesus. And apparently the trad, Christian movement doesn't like that she's given her life over to Christ. Now, if you don't know who this chick is, she used to be an OnlyFans performer. She was like in the top 1% of OnlyFans performers. She allegedly she's made $9 million. And she went viral last year on a podcast called Whatever. You guys might not know her name, but I guarantee you that you guys will recognize, this clip where she's from. So this is the clip that went viral. Let me cue it up here for you guys. So, okay. So here's the clip of Nala Ray on the Whatever podcast. This is the one that went viral at the end of it went viral mid 2023, I believe. So probably about 10 months ago, approximately. So, this is what made her internet famous, I guess, and kind of mainstreamed, so to speak. This chick wearing the red hair, right? So here it is.
So what is your current status? Are you friends with benefits? Are you in the talking stage? Do you have a situationship, relationship, fiance, marriage? Go ahead.
So I'm actually super single right now. I've been single for 10 months. Very, very happy with my current life situation. And I'm really not looking for anybody. So,
okay.
If I do find someone, it has to be a regular person. Cannot be anyone famous. I don't give a fuck about status. Has to be regular. Normal person. Because I'm so not normal. I need someone to equalize me. If they're crazy and I'm crazy, it just doesn't work. So, yeah.
How are you crazy?
I'm dominant.
You're dominant?
Yes.
You want to what?
I'm daddy.
You're daddy.
Uh-huh.
Whoa, wait. Show the tattoo to the camera right here.
It just says daddy. Yeah.
Did that hurt?
No, it was actually on my Halloween party. And I was streaming on my Halloween party night. And they gifted so many subs. I was like, you know what? I had a tattoo artist in my house. I was like, do you have your stuff with you? So I got tattooed in my game room during a Halloween party. And then just went back downstairs and partied.
Okay, so you're daddy.
I'm daddy. I girls with strap-ons. This is what makes me more dominant. I would like a guy, but they're too scared.
Wait, Eric, can you boost the audio a little bit? Put it to 90. I don't know. It sounds a bit low. And do you date men or women?
Oh, men.
Both.
I'm so attracted to men. I need, but when I'm drunk, women. Obviously. But I feel like that's every woman's answer, correct?
Is it?
When you're drunk. Oh, okay.
No.
Maybe it's just me then. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but I speak for myself. When I get drunk, it's
and you said you're
okay, and more of
Okay, so just to give you kind of example that, so that's Nala Ray. That's who she got. That in this clip is how I guess she went viral. Now, to be fair, and I have to admit, I'm kind of guilty of this as well. When I first saw this clip, I think it was on Twitter last year, my first thought was, wow, this bitch is crazy, right? That's kind of perfectly, understandable and normal to think that, wow, this is crazy. And by the way, I'm not like a fan of whatever, the whatever podcast. I kind of find Insidious a bit just like I find Fresh and Insidious, because again, it's portraying, basically the purpose of the whatever podcast seems to be, let's find, the trashiest Instagram and OnlyFans, hoes, bring them on, and then just like dunk on them mercilessly and make them look terrible nonstop, right? Is whatever, like, is it supposed to help anyone? Because every clip I've seen of them, it just seems like they like to bully OnlyFans girls for being OnlyFans girls. Which, I mean, I think that's kind of a waste of time. Like, sure, if you want to say you're against like OnlyFans girls and whorish behavior, that's one thing. But to have a podcast to like just dunk on them, here's the thing, like, you're actually giving them free publicity by doing that. Even if you're like shaming them for being whores, you're actually like secretly also promoting them. So, it's hypocritical, right? So that's Nala Ray, from 10 months ago. Now, fast forward to like end of March, she deleted her OnlyFans account and I guess is now a born again Christian. And some of the trad people are really having a problem with it. Most notably, Laura Loomer tweeted something out like, well, once a whore, always a whore, or something. Let me see if I can find the tweet. I still have it in my bookmarks. Here. Hold on a sec. Okay. Let me minimize that here. Okay. So I'm looking on Twitter, and here's a post from Laura Loomer. These OnlyFans girls can pray their slutty behavior away all they want. They will never be respectable no matter how much they cry to God. Praying to be a respectful person doesn't work once you do sex work. It is best that we shun women like this from society forever. Now, granted, Laura Loomer is Jewish, she's not a Christian, but, Judaism also preaches forgiveness and whatnot, right? Well, Nala Ray actually went on to the Michael Knowles show, as you can maybe see that playing here from, the video below. It's a 2-hour podcast, but let me go ahead and play the intro to this. So 2 days ago, Nala Ray went on the Michael Knowles podcast and talked about how she was originally a preacher's daughter and then got caught up in OnlyFans and then came back to her faith in Christ. Right, so I'm not going to play the whole podcast. It's 2 hours long, but I do want to play the intro here for you because I think it gives a pretty good teaser.
Hello, I started OnlyFans. I made like $85,000 the first month.
What was it about you that was able to make $1 million a year?
My biggest thing that I sold was that I'm multiple girls. I put all of that energy into creating Nala.
How much money do you have at this point?
9 million. My parents kind of disowned me.
That sounds catastrophic.
I've never really dove into that feeling.
Yeah.
Never talked about this. What's the point of all this money when I don't have feelings?
Is that the moment where you say, all right, I start getting it?
Sobbing. I was looking at my fireplace. I grabbed the Bible. I was like, God, I need an answer now. I truly need an answer now. And he gave me an answer.
Okay, so that's just a quick preview there. I'm about halfway through the podcast myself. And it seems to be it's a very interesting interview. Of all of the people on the Daily Wire show, I actually like Michael Knowles the best. I think Ben, he tends to be a little too controversial for the sake of being controversial. And then Andrew Clavin, I like him, but he can be a bit milquetoast at time. And I think Michael is, pretty compelling. Again, I don't watch him all the time, but I do tend to like him the most out of everyone at Daily Wire. And I think this podcast is pretty compelling. So the reason why I bring this up, right, is because there are people like Laura Loomer and others who say they, preach forgiveness and they want to bring people back to God and they want to bring people back to faith. But yet, if you're an OnlyFans girl or if you're a sex worker, you're irredeemable. That is like the one sin in their eyes, quote unquote, that you cannot come back from. Right? And in all honesty, I find this mentality to be quite sad, honestly, and not helpful at all. Granted, I don't necessarily condone, Nala Ray's behavior, what she was doing on OnlyFans, but, at the same time, she seems to be trying to better herself. She's starting a relationship with God and with Christ again. So shouldn't Christians, shouldn't we as Christians pray for her, redemption and pray for her, journey that she walks with Christ, successfully? Shouldn't we be, cheering her on instead of being cynical about that? I know that there are some people who are like, oh, well, she's just, the OnlyFans thing ran out, so now she's just ripping off Christians. That might be true, but what is your evidence for that? Can you read minds? Do you know her innermost thoughts and desires? No, you don't. Only God knows her innermost thoughts and desires. And all of these trad people and all of these, religious right-wingers who are judging her, show me one person who is free from sin, right? Show me one person who is free from sin. You can't. Jesus tells us to remove the plank from thine own eye before you judge others. Right? I'm not trying to necessarily get biblical here, but that's what I believe as a Christian. And so, shouldn't we as Christians be praying for her instead of judging her? Just some food for thought. In essence, folks, I'd like to close with this. We've talked on the show in the past few weeks about how bad woke culture with the whole LGBT thing, it is bad. We've talked how it's gone to a really, dark, extreme place with the LGBT movement, like really targeting kids and really like trying to do some really heinous shit. We've talked about that, right? And I still agree. I still think that Dylan Mulvaney is toxic. I think that Budweiser was wrong for promoting him. It seemed, Dylan Mulvaney and the other trans activists like her are not good at all. But neither is Fresh and Fit. I would argue that like Fresh and Fit and Andrew Tate and whatever are just as bad and just as harmful to our society and to America as the Dylan Mulvaneys of the world. I mean, I definitely consider myself like more conservative, but again, I call myself conservative libertarian because I believe that both extremes on the left and the right are dividing us at this point. It's tearing the country apart. And yes, I know Max and I talk about this ad nauseum, but there's a reason why we talk about this ad nauseum. Because it's true. And yeah, like, you may say that Trump is polarizing, and certainly his personality can be. But Max and I have also talked about how, despite Trump's, personality being polarizing, when he was president, the economy was good. When he was president, there were no new wars going on. America was thriving. We were just kind of starting to get over the woke shit a bit. Normal, everyday, average Americans are who we're targeting here on the Whitfield Report. That's our audience, ladies and gentlemen. You. We're talking to you, the average, ordinary American who wants to, have a stable job, maybe start a business. If you already have a business, succeed with that business. Start a family. Be a pillar of your community. Just normal, everyday American things. And politics is, politics has always been polarizing. And we're never going to agree on everything 100%. But this whole thing with the culture war, and the far, you have the red pill movement on the right, and then you have the we're woke and social justice movement on the left, and both the red pill crowd and the social justice crowd, they're both hypocrites, ladies and gentlemen. They're both radical and they're both extreme in a lot of cases. That's not good for us, the citizens, and it's not good for America. Going forward. And speaking of the culture war and whatnot, all these people on the right complaining, oh, Disney went woke, more culture war. A lot of them haven't done shit to actually fix the culture other than just bitch about endlessly. I actually did do something to fight the culture war. I've written a book, a political thriller called The Fourth Estate. It's not really political. It's just a fun spy novel. It's not woke at all. It's not really red-pilled either. It's just a fun political thriller. You can pick up The Fourth Estate and the first novel in this series, Shadows of Deception. Both available on Amazon. Written by me, Sam Whitfield. If you want to support the show, go and buy these books either on Kindle or on paperback. I really appreciate each and every one of you for tuning into the show. Ladies and gentlemen, it's always good to talk to you. We'll be back Wednesday evening for another episode of the Whitfield Report. And until then, folks, God bless, God save this great nation, and God, freedom, legacy, in that order.
Now broadcasting from the Next Gen Conservative Studio in sunny South Florida, bringing you the latest in politics, current events, and pop culture. This is the Whitfield Report with Sam Whitfield.